The NHL trade deadline is coming up, and it looks like the Edmonton Oilers probably are in sell mode now, even though there's always hope that they could make a run for the playoffs, but we've been saying that for a while now. What can we reasonably expect Keith Gretzky to do in terms of managing the assets, and what kind of deals can we maybe see?
Well, he's made the biggest one already, trading Cam Talbot, who was going to be unrestricted on July 1, and saved a fair bit of money there because Cam's contract is 4.1 and Stolarz, the goaltender that got his $761,000, so he saved some money there. Unless they want to trade Zach Cassian, who makes $1.9 million next year, and is probably a third to fourth line player, now playing first line with McDavid. Matt Benning makes $1.9 million, third pairing defenseman. I think he's a pretty good one. Most of the players who are out there and not performing or contracts are up, such as Tobias Reeder, I don't know if teams are jumping at those sort of players. So he doesn't have a lot to move. He's under orders, or he knows for sure I got to get rid of some money somehow. So whoever he trades, it's going to be one of those, a player for a draft pick, just to get rid of the money, and then hope that he's got minor league players that he can bring up next year. So yeah, they are in sell mode. It would be nice if come any trading deadline, apart from the one a couple of years ago where they're not in sell mode, and it'd be nice to say, oh, there's guys out there, like, I don't see them saying, geez, we got a shot at Matt Duchene. We got a shot at Zuccarello, whoever else is out there. Mark Stone. That's never the situation with the Oilers. And the one asset that has been talked about all season, but particularly recently, is Jesse Puljujarvi. That's the sort of player that if the Oilers do choose to trade him, you would hope to get a live body back, somebody that you can use in the lineup. At this point, I know that Puljujarvi's been spinning his wheels. Well, they're perilously close to the same scenario they had with Yakupov a couple of years ago, where he played 3 or 4 years with the team, and you're saying, I keep waiting for him to come around so he looks like the first overall pick, and he never did. And by the time they traded him, they got a third-round pick from St. Louis, and they found some team that would give him a draft pick. In Puljujarvi's case, he's played 2.5 years in the NHL and has not proven that he can be a starter. It's certainly 15 to 18-minute-a-game player. And they are selling low if they're trading him now. And I think they would be far better off just to wait till the summer. There's all the teams gathered. No team's trading for Puljujarvi now and saying, oh, we can plug him in and that's a contending team and he's going to really help us. I think it's the summer where you get a player back for him, but maybe the Oilers, to get a really good player back for him, you have to give up a draft pick too, a second-round draft pick or something, which is criminal when you stop to think he was the 4th player picked in the draft. In 2016, and he looks like a player that is spinning his wheel and is not progressing. Who's the most likely candidate to be traded this coming deadline? I would say Chason, 17 goals, although he's only got 1 goal in the calendar year of 2019, but he's getting chances. He's an unrestricted free agent who's won a Stanley Cup last year in Washington. He would be a good role player pickup for a contending team, making $650,000. On the other hand, the Oilers have nobody who scores any goals. So apart from Draisaitl and McDavid and Nugent Hopkins, so if you trade him, I don't know where there are any other goals on the Oilers. So, but you're only getting a draft pick for him. Every time you get draft picks, that's fine to have the draft picks, but unless you're piling those draft picks together to trade to some other team for an actual live body, those are players that are 2 years, 3 years away. And that's more years they're wasting of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Would any of the more recent acquisitions, such as Brandon Manning or Alex Petrovic, be something the Oilers could peddle away? Manning, no. Not with $2.25 million on his contract next year. Petrovic, probably, because his contract is up, and I think Alex might be a defenseman on a contending team. Defensemen are always more marketable at the deadline if their contracts are running out, not if their contracts exceed past the year where the team has got a shot at winning a cup. They just want an extra body, and problem is, if the Oilers gave up a third-round pick for Petrovic, are they going to get a third-round pick back for him? I don't know. Maybe they only get a fourth round. So they've lost that deal, and then, you know, another trade that didn't work out. And I think he's an NHL player, but he's had trouble getting traction in Edmonton as well as Brandon Manning.